Alright, what you just heard there was my attempt at the intro to Grant Green's version of My One and Only Love, which is a particularly awesome ballad that he plays. He's my favourite guitar player. It comes from, I first heard it from a compilation called Grant Green Ballads, and it's pretty awesome. He does a lot of different versions. Interestingly enough, you hardly ever hear Grant Green playing any chordal stuff unless it's like an accompaniment on his funky stuff, and it's kind of one chord vamps. But that's a really beautiful example of some chord work and a cool approach to harmony. So I'm going to talk you guys through how to play it, and also hopefully attempt to explain how it works and how you can take these concepts and use it in some of your other improvisations, or as you can basically lift this exact thing and use it as an intro for another song in a different key. So if there's any concepts that I brush over that you guys don't understand, take some of the keywords from that and do a bit of research, because they're all going to be really, really useful concepts that when you're playing jazz you want to be able to get a handle on. I certainly need to get a better handle on them myself. The song's in E flat major. Our first chord's an E flat major 9 chord. This guy here, I'll just tilt it down so we're kind of, oh, there we are. That's the chord, right? It's a fancier way of playing this guy here. If you think of your Hendrix chord, you know, Purple Haze. You guys probably know that chord. Bring it back a fret, so it's an E flat, and invert our two little fingers here, like so. So what you've got is E flat, G, D, and F, or from the A string, 6th fret, D string 5th fret, G string 7th fret, B string 6th fret. Okay, and he doesn't actually play the root note here. The bass player is taking care of that. What he plays instead is the 5th up here on the 6th fret of the E string. So this is our voicing. And he's always kind of picking a melody through this thing. It's a really nice little simple melody. And repeat, pick that E string a couple more times. And we're moving up here to this chord. This is a flat 3, sorry, it's a G flat dominant 13 chord. Relative to our tonic, if we're talking about Roman numerals, it's a flat 3 chord, flat 3 dominant. Think of your, in terms of the voicing, think of James Brown and Sex Machine. Right, so we're up here on the 9th fret, leaving the root out again. So our voicing is going to be from the D string 8. You're going to bar the 9th fret of all these 3 strings and use your pinky finger on the 11th fret of the E string for your melody note. Take it off, pick the E string again, pick the, sorry. We're going to leave the chord for a minute, complete the melody from the 7th fret of the B string to the 9th fret. So we've got this so far. Right? Then we move here to this B major 7 chord. It's the voicing he uses. It's also the reason for the chord before it. That's a dominant chord to resolve you back a 5th to set up this chord here. Relative to our tonic, don't worry if you don't understand this, it's a flat 6 major 7 chord. So starting from the D string, we've got 9, 8, 7, 6. So far we've got this. Recap. You hear that 12 notes part of our melody again. Then he picks it twice more. Our next chord is this one here. It's a nice crunchy chord. It's a great 5 chord to use in a major context. It's a B flat altered 7th chord. 7 alt, if you want to call it that. Again, we're not playing the root. Starting from the flat 7 on the D string, 6. In terms of frets, from the D string, 6. Barring the 7th fret. And pinky finger on the 9th fret of the E string. Removing that for our melody. Moving up to the B string, picking that, 7, 9. Then we're back to the top again. basically repeats that whole thing. So again, we've got, this is our second time. And when we get to this B flat altered chord, he holds it. He does this little run, which is like directly straight up and down the B flat half whole diminished scale, which is worth checking out. It virtually never sounds good if you play it scalar. But somehow he does exactly that and it sounds great. Starting from the B flat note, 6th fret of the D string, sliding up, 1 fret to the 9th fret, moving over the G string, starting on the flat 3rd or the 6th fret, sliding up a fret to the 3rd, moving up to the B string, starting on the 5th fret, sliding up to the 6th. Notice these are all semitone slides, 1 fret, moving up on that same string to the 8th fret, sliding to the 9th, moving up a string to the E string, sliding from the 6th fret to the 7th, sliding from the 9th fret to the 10th. Then you do the whole thing in reverse, right? Now we're back to the start, so we go down a little bit further on that same D string, 5, 6, then to the A string, 7, 8. Then he hangs onto this chord here, another awesome chord. Right? That's another B flat dominant chord. We've got a flat 7 in there, a flat 9, the 3rd, and the 13. So again, we're not playing the root, starting from the D string, 6, 4, and then barring the 3rd. Then he's onto the head, which is a whole other thing. Not too tricky though, you should be able to, and it's a good exercise to try and transcribe it. I mean, it's basically, other than a few of the runs he plays, basically a diatonic E flat major thing. So use that as a little challenge for yourself. Again, what I was saying about like learning or transcribing these things and trying to use them elsewhere so they're not just like a party trick. And that's the reason that I was sort of mentioning these Roman numeral things, saying things like this is the 1 chord, this is the flat 3 chord, things like that. You can use those formulas and take them around to other keys. Like say we're doing something like we'll move to the key of B flat, and now we're doing There Is No Greater Love. There Is No Greater Love. So we're going to do an intro to that using the same formula. We'll start with our 1 chord, 1 major 9 chord, major 7 chord, simplicity, up to our flat 3, dominant 13 chord, down to our flat 6, major 7 chord, and our altered 5 chord. Anyway, that's the idea. I hope I've been of some use to you guys. I know you guys have, some of you have been asking me to do this for a long time. I did a transcription of this with slightly better equipment and better sound like a year ago. So sorry it's taken me so long, and I hope you've gotten something out of that. If you guys have got any questions, post them in the comments. And yeah, thanks for listening. Check out some more Grant Green.